students, welcome to class. Today I'm holding my camera phone here and I'm looking at my iPad and showing you this account by Call Me Chris. She has 48.7 million followers. She's Canadian like me. The reason that we're looking at this account is we're trying to understand what is going on with this person. First of all, it should be stated that she's an excellent actor. She plays so many different roles and uses all different kinds of accents. And a while back on YouTube, she made a video saying that she had been sexually assaulted when she was a younger person. And my heart kind of went out to her. But then I started to look a little bit closer. And now I'm not convinced that it ever even happened. Now, the reason I say that is because typically, if you have been sexually assaulted, you will usually feel that that was a terrible thing and you would not want it to happen to anyone else. But when I talked to Chris and I asked her to please stop eating animals because in the dairy industry, for example, the cows are sexually assaulted, she didn't really seem to care about that. So I thought to myself, well, that's weird, because if you think that sexual assault is wrong, wouldn't you want it to not happen to someone else? And it doesn't seem to be the case when it comes to her. Her sexual assault seems to be all that matters. But if others are sexually assaulted, well, that doesn't seem to matter to her at all. This is a video that she did recently that I thought was very bizarre because it talks about hurting a child and she laughs about it. And I've seen her laugh many times at the suffering of others. And so let's look here.
Oh my gosh, I just had the most intrusive thought.
Let's turn this up.
All the time. What was yours? I just imagine trying to shove this entire muffin into my mouth at once. Oh, that's not really an intrusive thought. That's more of an impulsive thought. Oh, yeah, no, an intrusive thought would be, I want to shove your muffin down your throat like it's a tube sock in a vacuum pipe. Hypothetically. Oh, okay. So intrusive would be, I want to pick up this muffin and throw it at the wall as hard as I can. It's close. Intrusive would be more like, I want to throw this stale rock-hard muffin at an innocent bystander walking on the street, preferably a child holding a...
She wants to throw a muffin at a child on the street, and this is what she says is an intrusive thought. And this is the example that she gives, to throw something at a child and harm the child.
Balloon to see it topple over like a bowling pin while it walks.
And she's hoping that the child has a balloon and that the child will fall over.
Which is the only thing that brought it joy that day.
And the child would be very sad. So I found that a really strange example.
Put away into the abyss, hypothetically.
So this is her idea of what is funny. I don't find it funny to even imagine that children are being hurt. I've worked in an intensive care unit where there were children who were actually hurt, and it is the most devastating thing to observe. And the fact that she makes fun of this kind of thing, I find really bizarre. So what I decided to do with this video is I went to my own site and I decided to duet her video, which is something that you can do. So here's my site here. As you can see, I have an account warning because I got a community violation. And my violation was for no good reason. It was literally just telling people to not hurt animals. And that's not okay. Apparently over here on TikTok, it's okay to talk about hurting the kids, but no, we can't talk about hurting animals. So I took her video here and I did a duet.
Oh my gosh, I just had the most intrusive thought.
And I'll just turn the volume down there, but you could see it. So beside it, I made a point of writing things about the dairy industry. So if she doesn't like the fact that she was sexually assaulted, it's a good idea then for her to not sexually assault the cows in the industry and also many other animals, or at least not to pay for that to happen. So the dairy industry rapes mother cows, kidnaps their babies, ties them up, murders them, steals their milk, repeats the cycle over and over because people like her keep buying milk, cheese, yogurt, and ice cream. So I'm also thanking people who watch this video over on my TikTok. I'm saying thank you to everyone who is vegan because they never want to hurt anyone. And then I provide the resources here of the important documentaries because sometimes people don't believe what actually happens in the dairy industry. So I wrote here, watch this documentary called Earthlings, which is one that had a very powerful effect on me. And it really made me very sad to see what we do to the animals in these industries. Cowspiracy, this one focuses a lot on the cows and on the dairy industry. There's also Seaspiracy, Dominion Movement, Forks Over Knives, The Game Changers, and What the Health. So if you haven't yet seen these documentaries, I encourage you to do so. We should never be stealing the eggs from chickens. That's another thing that's really important. And I've mentioned this to Chris, that she should not be eating eggs because in that industry, they take the baby boy chicks away at just 1 day old and they macerate them because they consider them to be useless in the egg industry because they'll never be able to grow up to lay eggs because they're going to grow up to be roosters and not chickens. So I've talked to Chris about this and I've said, listen, it would be great if you would be vegan. It would be great if you would stop talking about hurting animals or children. It is not a joke. And I encouraged her to watch these documentaries. Now, she did say that she was going to watch Dominion Movement, but I doubt that she did because otherwise she would have been affected by this. If she was any kind of a normal person, she probably would have broken down and cried and felt terrible for all the abuse that she's been part of in the last many years. And don't get me wrong, I also used to eat animals. I used to eat them. I used to drink their milk. I used to eat the ice cream that came from that milk, and I ate eggs, meat, all of it. So I understand that it's a shocker when you first hear about that, but somebody like Chris, who is a completely capable woman, she should absolutely be vegan and she should declare it to all of her fans. And especially if she has truly been a victim of sexual assault, why on earth would she be okay with the industry, the dairy industry, pinning down mothers and forcing them to be pregnant after pinning down the fathers, the bulls, and forcing the sperm out of them? This is sexual assault, then it is kidnapping of babies, and it is murder and stealing. Everything bad happens in the dairy industry, and we're calling on Chris to say something about this, to say, this is wrong. If you don't like sexual assault, if you're against sexual assault, if you're against stealing, you should absolutely be vegan like that vegan teacher. So that's what I'm hoping will happen. And because people are asking me, what does this video have to do with anything? But this is just a trick that you can use if you want to get people's attention. You can put a video of a famous person on the side, and if you don't like what they're saying, you can put an X on them like that. But over on TikTok, you have to be very careful. You can't actually say what you're really feeling. You can, however, put some information as I did here. So thank you so much for being here. And if you haven't yet subscribed to this channel, please do so. And remember that it is easy to learn to love vegetables. They didn't have to die for you. And this is my kitchen table, also showing you that you can Google vegan athletes. Very, very easy to do, to find out how to be healthy as a vegan, and you can make a vegan smoothie. And for those of you who are here, I'm sending you a big hug. If you are able to get this video over to Call Me Chris, please let her know that I'm hoping she'll be vegan as soon as possible and help us to join us and save the billions of innocent animals who are suffering right now in Holocaust-like conditions on factory farms. Thank you. And coming up on screen are going to be a bunch of other videos. Please click on them. Be curious. Follow my channel and subscribe and press like if you want to. See you all in the next video. Bye for now.